Hello and welcome. He's known as the father of American Taekwondo for introducing the Korean martial art to the US in the 1960s. Over the years, he became good friends with the legendary Bruce Lee and boxing champion Muhammad Ali, as well as a number of leading politicians from the corridors of power in Washington, D.C., to whom he still teaches his fighting skills. This week on One on One, meet the 10th degree black belt Taekwondo Grandmaster Jhoon Rhee. For someone who's remained incredibly fit well into his 70s, his confession to being an uncoordinated child is hard to imagine. Grandmaster Jhoon Rhee set the standard for what was known as Korean karate when he moved to America as a young man. Very quickly, his reputation for discipline, as well as dedication and loyalty to the United States, earned him a following among senior politicians in the country's capital. In fact, his popular, award-winning television advert featuring his daughter and son saying, "Nobody bothers me," spread the catchphrase widely. It wasn't only politicians whom Master Jhoon Rhee taught to break blocks and develop physical prowess. Even the legendary boxing champion Muhammad Ali credits the Taekwondo master for teaching him effective punching, which helped him to win in the ring. Another close friend of his was the remarkable kung fu star Bruce Lee, with whom the Korean martial artist would train and exchange tips. What sets Master Jhoon Rhee apart from many of his peers, though, is his desire to create a sense of social peace and harmony through the arts. Master Jhoon Rhee has already added dance and music elements to Taekwondo training and continues to develop new ideas that he hopes will give the sport a deeper meaning. Master Jhoon Rhee, it's a real honor to speak with you.
Well, I'm honored to be invited here.
So you got known for bringing Taekwondo to America, for pioneering it. Now, when you look at how it's moved on from the 60s to where it is now, how has it changed in the way it's taught? Is it as traditional, is it as pure as when you remember it?
No, since I studied, civil engineering, I got human mechanics. I got more informed through education, and I know all the basics, the martial art they're training today is something developed about hundreds of years ago when they didn't know what physics is. And so I have changed the few basics, and so it is really a little away from tradition now.
Is there still the core philosophy? Because with martial arts, it's about personal discipline. You yourself have a lot of personal discipline, I know. But do you find when you see how Taekwondo is taught by many people in America or by other schools, that perhaps they don't keep the same traditional core philosophy?
Yes, they do, because depending on who the instructor is. And I, in fact, demand if they want to become black belt, they must make B average and above in class.
The thing is, with American culture, people want things in a hurry. So, of course, they want to start Taekwondo classes and they expect to become experts in virtually no time. Of course, it's not possible, is it?
Well, in Korea, there are only 3 different belts until become black belts. So they don't have much to do, so they stay. But in America, the people are very impatient. So we made about 10 different colors, and between colors we have stripes. So we always have, carrots hanging so that make sure they don't quit.
But then how do you make sure you keep the philosophy pure? How do you make sure people pick up the sense of discipline that you always keep for yourself?
Well, the main thing is the instructors leading by example. And you cannot just talk and really fool the kids. They're smart enough. And so we must really do whatever you expect from the children do.
Tell me about your own personal discipline. What is it you keep up every day in terms of your practices?
Well, I get up 6 in the morning, and I've been teaching members of Congress for 43 years now, 3 mornings a week. I'm trying to pay back what America had done for Korea during the Korean War. And I am really disciplined. My age is 77. I still do 100 push-ups in a minute, and 10 times, in fact. And I do a split, and then I touch my chest on the floor, and I still break board, and I demonstrate all the 7 physical qualities.
What does it take to be a good Taekwondo master? What is the core value, you think?
Discipline. Yes, you have to discipline and do the things that what teacher tells you to do. I mean, not just for 1 month or 2 months, but really every day. That as long as you eat and sleep, you must exercise.
In terms of the skills though needed in Taekwondo, do you see it essentially as a fighting system, the actual physical manifestation? Is it a fighting system, a defense system, a sport?
Yes, I think it's the exercise first of all, and then in case you have to defend yourself, and you have to be ready. So in order to be ready, you must develop your punching power and be alert all the time.
Master Jhoon Rhee, tell me about your early years. Tell me about your childhood. What do you remember about your childhood in Korea?
Well, when I was a young boy, I was very uncoordinated. When I have track in elementary school, I was always either last to second or the last. And very uncoordinated, very insecure. When I was 6 years old, I was beaten by a 5-year-old girl. And that girl's father was policeman in Japanese government when Korea was occupied by Japan. And so I was very scared, and I cried and came home, and I explained to my mother why I'm crying, and she beat me even more. And so that time, and then I really knew that I had to depend on myself. So I was beginning to push up and lifting weight. And then when I was 13, and I fell in love with American Blonde, Marilyn Monroe's movie, right after the World War II. And I was determined to really come find the blonde American girl as my wife someday.
And chasing Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, right. When I came and I couldn't find the blonde hair goes with blonde heart, so I ended up marrying a Korean girl. And I was really determined to come to U.S. When I was 13, I said, if I come to U.S., how am I going to make a living? Taekwondo. That time, Taekwondo was not known in this country.
I'll ask you more about that, but how did you discover Taekwondo yourself as a child?
That's why. Because when I was beaten by a 5-year-old girl, I wanted to develop my confidence. And I looked for a boxing gym, but I didn't have it in my hometown. When I went to middle school in Seoul, Korea, in my uncle's. And there I found the Taekwondo school, and that's how I started Taekwondo.
How easy was it for you in the early days? Did you take to it very easily?
Oh, no, it was not easy because, as I told you, I was very uncoordinated. I had to really work twice as hard as normal people to where I am. And I really improved my coordination through my effort.